These are my top 3 highlighters: powder, cream, and liquid. I absolutely love this because it's kind of a bit of both. You've got the cream and you've got the powder. This is the Patrick Tar Major Glow Creme and Powder Light Reflecting Translucent Highlighter Duo. I know it's a mouthful, but there are so many lovely shades within this selection. My favorites are Honey and Daddy. Absolutely stunning. I love Honey because it's this bronze, kind of really deep bronze color, but it doesn't come out that dark. And the cream looks absolutely amazing on its own. I actually really like using it with a beauty blender and just kind of dabbing it onto the peaks of the cheekbone, but you can layer it on with the powder on top, so that looks great too. But that's my first one. Honestly, my next one is something I've been using for years and I absolutely love it, and I think everyone should have it. This is the Hollywood Flawless Filter, a game changer. There's so many different ways that you can use this. You can obviously dab it in the traditional way on top of your peaks of your cheekbones, different high points on your face. But the best way, I think, is actually applying it underneath your foundation. So if you literally put dots all over your face, blend it in, you're gonna look like a disco ball. You're gonna look so shiny. And then you put your foundation on top. It gives you the most stunning finish. And I have noticed on some of my videos where people have commented where I've actually done that technique and they obviously don't know what I've done and they're like, this looks so different, it looks really glowing. That's what I usually do. So that's my next one. Absolutely amazing. Love that. My next one has to be the Rare Beauty Liquid Luminizer. I really do love this, and I think that it looks way more shiny in the bottle and on your hand than what it does when you put it on. So I feel like it's kind of a bit deceiving because when you put it on your hand, it's like, wow, that's way too glittery. But actually when you put it on the back of your hand and you get a beauty blender and you slightly buff into it and very lightly dab onto your cheekbones, it looks so pretty. It's not over the top. All 3 of these liquid and powder highlighters do not highlight texture, but ultimately, and this is very important, there is not going to be a single highlighter that doesn't highlight texture. If you apply it to the areas that you have texture, anything's going to enhance your texture. So anything that is kind of shiny, liquidy is going to enhance texture if you put it on top of areas that have a lot of texture. So I would highly recommend making sure that you do apply it to areas that you don't have much texture. And usually that is the high points of the cheekbones and maybe the tip of the nose, the brow bone, areas like that. So try and stick to those areas. You can still use it, just be careful where you apply it. These are my go-to pressed powders. The first one is something that I've recently discovered and I absolutely love it because it's so stunning on the skin and it gives you that immediate velvet finish to your skin. This is the Say Beauty Slipped In Undetectable Baked Setting Powder. Now my shade is translucent 3, so you can see that kind of matches my skin tone pretty well. I would not recommend using this with a brush because I don't think it actually does much. But if you use it with a powder puff and you actually just swirl into it and then you press on, it gives you the most stunning, velvety, buttery finish, which is kind of semi-matte. So it's more of a it's really strange because it allows your skin to still have dimension, but it does get rid of shine. So I wouldn't pack this on several times a day, but if you're gonna touch up maybe once or twice through the day, this is a game changer. Next is the obvious, it's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. This is a great option if you do want to kind of just press in to areas through the day to make it look a bit flawless. The only downside to this, I would say, is that you can't keep doing it because it will look powdery and a little bit cakey because it will build up over time. But if you want to touch up once or twice, it's great through the day. But it is the only powder I know that gives you that immediate kind of brightness to your skin. My next one that I'm absolutely loving is the Dior Forever Nude Radiant Filter. This is a great powder that gives you a luminescent kind of glow to your skin at the same time. So it really does help to kind of just get rid of anything that is looking maybe a little bit cakey. This is probably the most fine milled pressed powder you're going to come across. It's a great powder and I know you're going to love it.